Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to our health condition workshop on acne. And my name's Paul,
Hi, everyone. This is Bev.
and we have with us Alissa Caillet. Is that right? How we pronounce that
Yep.
last name? Caillet, yes. And
Allier.
she is with incandescentskin.com, and she's right here in our hometown of Tucson, Arizona. And we are thrilled to have you, Alissa. For all of you who met her on Monday, she gave us a great little background about herself. So you can pick that up because we're just going to go right into the condition. But first, a couple things. If you're interested in having the manual to the workbook to go over the points with us after Alyssa's presentation, we've posted that justtouch.com/workbook. And if you have any questions for Alissa, if you're on YouTube or Facebook, just put them in the question into the comment section, and we'll pass them on to Alissa when she's done with her presentation here. So, take it away, lady. You're on.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. My name's Alissa and I own Incandescent Skin, and I've been doing skin for a cool 9 years.
Wow.
So acne is one of the specialties that I work with. And so I thought I would just kind of go over some basics about what acne is. And then we'll just kind of go from there. So what is acne? Acne is a chronic inflammatory condition. So essentially, it forms, I wrote some notes. It says acne forms when an excessive amount of keratinized cells block the opening of the hair follicle. So essentially, it forms around the hair, and it is trapped sebum or bacteria that becomes this perfect breeding ground for bacteria. And we can have open comedones, we can have closed comedones. There are so many different types of acne that we can deal with. And sometimes there's acne imposters, and sometimes there is folliculitis, which is really just a trapped hair in itself. So it's important to talk to and work with a professional to kind of identify what the type of acne you have that you're dealing with. But it is definitely considered a skin disorder. Okay. I've seen some claims lately on social media that I have a cure. It's not cured. It's not curable. It can only be managed. It can be controlled. And so that's kind of, where I start with my clients as far as educating. There are different types of acne, including acne rosacea. So rosacea, I was thinking about it today. If you've seen those pictures of Santa Claus, the cartoons, but jolly, man with a bunch of red cheeks and nose, that's usually pretty indicative of rosacea. And you can actually have acne too, but with the sensitivity. So it's pretty tricky. Again, there's open and closed pimples or comedones. There can be cystic acne, which is like a deeper pockets underneath the skin. They can be very painful. And folliculitis, dermatitis, vulgaris. So there's a bunch of different types of acne again. So it's important to kind of identify what level, what grade, so that we can treat it properly and get it under control. What are some causes? I would say from my personal, so far, since I've been working with it, a lot of times it's just genetics. It's just how we're made. And I guess I've seen so much, how emotionally trying it can cause people. It's very, very difficult to have this condition, especially if you don't know, haven't been able to get it under control. And a lot of times it's just how we are made. You can have clogged follicles with bacteria trapped inside. And there are other types of triggers as well that can cause acne, and that's more of like hormones. Here's a big one, stress. I don't think people give that stress thing enough credit. It's tough and everybody kind of deals with it. So finding ways to manage that. And I think Paul and Bev are going to give you some really good tips on that. Cosmetics, makeup, quality of makeup, and cleaning your skin and learning how to clean your skin properly. Skincare products can also trigger it as well as foods. So kind of go over some things that you can do from home. I don't have my slides. Can you tell me what number one is? Yeah. What was the first one? Water, water, water. Oh my gosh. So this is the first really, really easy, important step. Adding more water to your diet is going to help your skin function better, your body function better. We live in Arizona, so we have to drink 10 gallons a day. I'm kidding. But what I suggest to my clients is that you take your weight, whatever that is, and you divide it by 2. And then you convert that number to ounces. And that is how much water you should be drinking per day. And I'm very much about realistic goals. Okay. So if you are, and I've had people come in say, I don't drink water. I don't like it. I don't like it. You want to look at eating foods that are rich in water and start off with something. Start off with a small goal that's achievable. I think a lot of people are like, okay, I need to drink 4 36 ounces glasses of water per day, but I don't drink it. Well, I don't want you to fail. Like, just start off with 1 and gradually move on up. Okay. Number 2. Let's see. Oh yes, EFAs. Okay, I think I found my little slides here. So EFAs are essential fatty acids, my friends. So I work with one that's a professional grade, but quite frankly, you can even look at fish oil. Not all fish oil is created equal. Nordic, there's one that's got the word Nordic in it. I like that one. It seems to be made pretty well, and it doesn't give you those fishy burps, which that's one of my issues. But we need to have those good extra essential fatty acids going into the system to help with clearing the acne. And it makes a huge difference in the process. Okay. And number 3 is, what do you dry your clothes with? This is one that I think probably surprises most people is, what the detergent. Okay, this is maybe another side one, but sometimes there are comedogenic acne causing ingredients in detergent. So for that one, I suggest always like a clear detergent. But dryer sheets have really bad ingredients in them, and their waxy substance gets on our clothes, gets on our sheets, and it is actually a huge irritator. So what I suggest to people is to really look at dryer balls. So they're like wool dryer balls. You can put some essential oils on it to kind of give it a nice smell, but without adding those extra chemicals that risk touching your face. Okay. And what is my 4th one? It says, when is the last time you washed your pillowcase? I mean, let me just validate this for everyone. I'm guilty of not doing it enough. You need to wash your sheets, especially those pillowcases, because you think about it, you sleep on them, you get your oils. What about your hair products? Do you have hair products? Do you have oils or mousse or, those types of things that go on your pillowcase and then rub up against your face? Okay. So what I do suggest to my clients is that you invest in some pillowcases if you don't already have some, and you put one on one night and you sleep on one side. Next day, you flip it over, sleep on the other side, and then you change it. Okay. It's a lot, but it's worth it. It's really worth it if it makes a difference for your skin. Okay. And let's see. Number 5. Okay. Begin the process of elimination. And this is probably a really hard one for a lot of us in Arizona. We need to cut out some foods. And again, I'm going to go back to maybe don't cut it all out, but start with moderation. Okay. We want you to start reducing some of these things. If you are prone to acne, we want to reduce dairy. Dairy has chemicals in it that were meant for baby cows and calves, and it really messes with the skin. It's these hormones that just don't work well. So again, think of milk, cheese, yogurt. I do suggest like goat's milk for yogurt is very good. A wonderful substitute for milk. I cannot say this enough. My family has completely switched over to oat milk. And if you are a coffee drinker, there is creamier oat milk, but it's far better for your skin. Of course, sugary things, sugary drinks, processed foods, they do not agree with acne either. So I suggest, again, starting to begin to moderate that. I know for me, when I try to go on a diet, all I want to do is eat all the things I'm not supposed to eat. So be good to you. Energy drinks, they have acne, things that will irritate acne. So I suggest trying to veer away from that. Obviously, there's some logical things like greasy foods, fast food. I tell my clients, like, if you really can't avoid bringing your own food or making your own food, then at least go for the salads, something, the least amount of processed food as you can, because that is going to make a difference in the long run for your skin. So that's kind of what I have so far. That's pretty brief. Is there any questions? Otherwise, I'll start talking about my acne program.
Somebody asked about inflammation, and the question specific: would a low inflammation diet help?
Absolutely, because it's an inflammatory condition. So, I would even consider adding a supplement such as turmeric. But yes, absolutely.
And can overuse of acne products trigger?
Yes.
Acne.
That is exactly why I have a specific program. I work with my clients every 2 weeks, and we adjust their products and their product usage. So that is, yeah.
Okay, well, let's talk about your program.
Okay, so I work with a couple of different product lines. I want to give them a shout out because their education has been phenomenal. It's DMK Skin and Face Reality. They are just fantastic with skin revision and education. So right now I have been doing a acne boot camp, which essentially begins with a consultation. Everything begins with a consultation because I need to see your skin. We need to talk. I need to learn about your history. This is not just let's just, address the topical. It is a holistic process. We need to look at your, behaviors. Where do you work? Do you work during the day? Do you work at night? Where do you work? Are you outside all the time? There's a lot of different factors that we have to try and address and control for to some degree. I will recommend and prescribe products for you and teach you how to use them. And that is an additional fee for that first treatment or the first visit. I will also be testing certain active ingredients on your skin to make sure that you can tolerate it, because I don't want to give you some products that are going to make your skin burn, or you're going to feel sensitive, or, I need to be able to work with my clients very closely as they are, starting these treatments. I also, let my clients know that you have access to me all the time. Now, I will not answer at midnight, but I will get back to you. Text me anytime. I am your cheerleader, and I am your coach. Like, I want you to be successful. And so it's not like, here's the stuff, go. Good luck. So that consultation's $100. And then the products for this program are usually around $250, $300 to start. And then I see my clients every 2 weeks for a treatment, a facial treatment. And that involves, some professional products, some active ingredients. I do extractions, but I'm trained to do them. Okay. We do them gently, but we need to move the bacteria out. And then you're just going to watch your skin revise. And, we say that you need to plan on 3 to 4 months generally. Like, I can't guarantee it, but that's generally the amount of time that it takes to clear skin, because you need to think, how long have you been living with it? How long has the acne been there? How long have you been struggling with it? So you kind of have to take that into consideration, because it's going to take time to clear it out. As you starting to use professional products with active ingredients, people purge. So there's a lot of bacteria and debris that kind of is underneath the skin, especially if you've been dealing with this for a long time. So you got to think about it as we're pulling it out slowly but surely. And that might mean that you're going to see far more breakouts initially before it starts to clear. So if there is more breakouts, that's okay. That's good. We want to see that, because we're pulling it out so that you can have clear skin. So that's kind of it in a nutshell.
We have some questions with it too. So
go ahead.
What was the ingredient in the fish oil that you mentioned?
Essential fatty acids. So the one that I use through DMK has plant-based essential fatty acids. So there are those options as well, but anything else?
Yeah, and then could a low-grade allergy to facial products trigger acne?
Yes, but is it an allergy? That's the question. Right. A lot of times when we have some reactivity, it's usually internal. That is the root cause. But, absolutely, I'm looking at, how is your skin reacting to the products? Is there a rash, or is it itchy? 9 times out of 10, I feel like everybody so far has done really well on the products. I do have alternatives for some of the active ingredients in case.
So somebody wanted to know about, do you address the hormonal acne?
So I do, and I can work with that, but in partnership with your doctor, whomever that is, because I'm going to want you to get some blood work. We're going to want to find out what exactly the trigger is in the hormone. Is it birth control? Birth control pills. There are some birth control. I have a list of good birth control that is safer to use, more of a testosterone base, I believe. Is that something that's simple, that basically says, we say, okay, if we switch it out or use a different method, then will that take care of the problem? So,
wow. Any other questions out there from anybody in La La Land? So we have Eileen who said, so the keys are inflammation, stress, hormones, and bacteria. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I noticed here on your last thing, you're giving people who put BioTouch in the promo code a discount for the products.
Yes. So if anybody watching would like to get started on my program, I'm giving a 25% off discount off of your consultation. So that should help a little bit. And then I will give 20% off the first purchase of the products to just kind of ease that pocketbook a little bit as you get started. But
Wow. And then do you encourage people to do other kinds of complementary alternative things?
absolutely.
Right. And you work with people on those, what they're doing.
Yes.
So they should be honest with you. Oh, I'm doing BioTouch too.
Yes, yes. BioTouch. Are you working with the chiropractor? Are you getting energy work and BioTouch and
Right.
all that stuff is going to be good and healthy for you. There's a great app I use called Insight Timer. I don't know if you guys have heard of that, but every single night I listen to a meditation and do that. And that just takes me personally, my stress level, like, whoo, and helps me sleep better. So, and sleep's another one. Oops. Wasn't going to share additional tools, but there you go.
All right. Well, that's good. I
Does
mean,
that
we
help?
want a holistic thing here.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
sleep on healthy and sleep on clean pillowcases.
That's
Yes.
right.
There you go, Bev. Get another set of pillowcases. I'm always complaining
I
to
kind
I'm
of do
always
it on
complaining to Jenny. She washes the sheets once a week. Now I got to do it every other day.
every other day. I kind of do that anyway.
Right.
That's kind of cool.
So let's
Good. And
see.
it's called self-care.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what this is about.
There you go.
So we got the fish oil answered. We got any other questions before we let Alissa move on and we teach you the points for BioTouch? And it doesn't look
Well,
like
I have one real
Yes.
real
Go for
quick
it.
because I know some. So a lot of I've seen teenagers who have terrible acne, and then I see them 20 years later as adults, and their skin's okay. What happens?
That is a really good question. To some degree, I think they grow out of it.
Yeah.
I do see a lot of people with scarring
Yeah,
later. Like
right.
I had really bad acne. It's more than likely was from hormonal, puberty, that type of thing.
Right.
But I still get the folks that are past that, but then they have like some deep pics,
Scarring.
and then we can go, work with that. But
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
hormones are not
Yeah.
our friends. sometimes.
Well, Alissa, this was perfect.
Thank
And
you.
if anybody wants to get hold of her and get into her program or just have her personal questions, she's
Uh,
at incandescentskin.com. Or you can contact us at the foundation and we'll pass it on to her. This will be available in a video that we'll hand out to everybody. And Alissa, you can hand it out to your friends and family too. So
Great.
we appreciate what you gave us. And now we're going to hang around and teach some points. Thanks, dear.
I learned a lot. Thanks, Alissa. I
Thank
learned
you.
a lot.
Talk to you soon. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Once again.
I know. I don't have acne, but the dryer balls and this. I mean,
yeah, just all those things that you don't have to have.
That was great.
Yeah, it was. So I'm excited because once again, all the things she talks about, BioTouch can address.
There it was, right there. In fact, the whole time she's talking, I'm like, inflammation, hormones, stress.
Right, and metabolic process.
I know.
Yeah.
And we always like check ourselves out, saying, are we choosing the right sets of points to share with people? And so far, so good, I'm thinking.
Yep. So let's move right along to teaching the sets of points that are going to address it. And let me get you to the right screen here. Okay, you're on.
Okay. So everyone, thanks for joining us. So now Paul and I are going to take you through a couple of the simple sets of points that you can use at home or wherever with someone in your life who is really suffering from acne, because it's right there on our face. So anyway, if you have downloaded the workbook and you're looking at it, or for those who don't, let me just say that the workbook, the very front page, if you're looking at it, always has, of course, the condition that we are addressing and a very nice synopsis of what it is, what it's caused by, what are some of the things you can do. And this is always done by a very lovely lady on our board, Paula Taylor. She is our scribe, and we always thank her for doing such a great job for us. So let's move ahead and start learning about those sets of points. So if you'll turn to that first page, page 6, it says at the bottom, we're going to just quickly go over a few bullet points here about what is BioTouch for those of you who maybe haven't joined us before, and we're just going to give a real quick overview. So BioTouch is a very simple, it's a hands-on healing technique that uses the first 2 fingers of the hands. And those first 2 fingers lightly touch the skin, very lightly, like a butterfly, we say, on specific points on the body. And what BioTouch does is stimulate the body's natural sense of wanting to be in balance, of healing. It begins a process of healing within the body that is non-invasive. So this is a very unique technique in the whole alternative community. We'll talk about that in just a second. So it just enhances the body's ability to heal. And as you're going to find out, we all have that ability to use BioTouch and to share it in the world. So let's begin with these 4 bullet points. First one, BioTouch is easy to learn. Even children can learn it and practice it effectively. This is probably one of our biggest pushes that we do to get this into the family, where children, I mean, can you imagine children, little children learning to use BioTouch at a very early age, helping mom and dad, grandma and grandpa, aunts and uncles, cousins, their friends? Oh my gosh, a different world we would have, because this is the touch of love. So it's easy to learn, as you're going to see. We have 17 sets of points that are used to address every single condition the body can manifest. Bullet number 2, it is a complement to any healthcare program. And it's interesting because when Alissa was talking about her program, I was thinking, oh my gosh, BioTouch in that whole 3 to 4 months is perfect. It is so perfect for to add and to enhance her program to help. So it's not just a complement. It is, what we're discovering is, it is a holistic system. It is integrative, and that means BioTouch works with everything. Everything works with BioTouch. It is non-invasive, as I already said, and so it does nothing but only enhance the process. Of course, we always encourage people, if you're working with a doctor, you're under, specific medications, or you're going through if you're on a diet or you're using other modalities, whatever it is, BioTouch can only help and enhance that health care program. The third bullet, it has no levels of ability, and everyone is effective the first time. This is what makes BioTouch so amazingly unique. The minute that you learn one set, you can turn around and do it on someone, and you will be totally effective with them. You do not have to know anything about the anatomy. You do not have to have any special knowledge. The only knowledge you have to have is how to place those fingers on the skin to help someone. I mean, this is like amazing. And, I've often thought this is the only technique that I know that I can teach someone how to say, for instance, as we're going to learn how to do the next set, and they can turn around and do the next set on me and be totally effective for me. That's magical. And that's what BioTouch is magical. So no ability, no levels, nothing like that. Just learn these sets of points and start touching, and you are going to be able to help anybody in your life with whatever, acne and everything else. The last bullet, BioTouch requires no special preparation, a belief, or a state of mind. In fact, what BioTouch does is it just takes our ego away, because it allows us to step in front of another human being and just be present. You do not have to think about why you're touching, how long, is this going to last? Is it going to be effective? There's no intention here. BioTouch just asks us to be present with someone and to care about their pain and feeling cared for. So you don't have to have a philosophy, a belief system, whatever you believe in, whatever spiritual practice you do, BioTouch honors everything. It literally brings us into equality, and it breaks down the barriers so that all we're doing is just being present with our heart. And that is an amazing gift for all of us. So let's go over before we start learning. Paul, did you want to say anything?
No, we're good. We're good.
Okay. So I'm going to just tell you just the process to begin to work with someone. You wash your hands. It's BioTouch. The definition of BioTouch is one person touching another person lightly on the skin. As we're going to learn, you're going to, the first set we're going to teach you is called the greeting. So you use the first two fingers after washing your hands, and you're going to touch lightly on the skin like a butterfly, and you're going to hold each point 6 to 8 seconds. That's it. That's all you need to know to immediately start using BioTouch in your life. And boy, are you going to be able to help so many people, so many people. Okay, so let's move on. This second page, that page 7, it's just the other side. We don't really go into it. It's just terms that are used in our manual that describe how you touch using BioTouch. But I will just bring the first one to your attention. The one performing BioTouch is called the associate. And it's interesting, based on what I had said before, that the dictionary says that associate is one often in the company with another, implying an intimacy or equality, and 2, one having an interest in common with another. And so there you have it, an associate of BioTouch. When you step into that relationship of healing, it's bringing both of you into an intimacy of equality. And of course, you have a common interest, helping each other, because you cannot give BioTouch without receiving BioTouch. It's just that's the way. And the recipient is the one who receives the touch. So we will move on, and we are going to start, as I said before, with what we call the greeting. Or I should say, that is what it's called. It was called the greeting. The greeting is before you do anything else, after you wash your hands, you do this greeting. Paul's going to show you the video, someone doing the greeting with someone, and it will make it a little bit more real for you here. But this is to establish that harmony between the associate and the recipient. So let's watch that video.
And before we watch it, let's share with people, if you get the workbook or even our full manual, you'll notice there's one page in the manual, it's on the left, but there's one page that's a drawing that'll have the numbers. At the bottom of that page will be a link to the video if you get the PDF version, the ebook version. And on the second page is always pictures of people doing the points and very detailed descriptions of the points, as you can see there. And the video goes by those words there. So there's numerous ways for different kinds of people who need different sensations to learn the points.
Right.
So
Awesome.
Let's show the greeting here.
Okay, thank you.
The greeting is always performed at the beginning of each session. It's the only set that uses one hand and the only set that indicates which hand to use. The greeting is performed with the dominant hand. If you are right-handed, use your right hand. If you are left-handed, use your left hand. The greeting is made by touching at point 1, which is in the fleshy area just below the bottom of the breastbone or sternum. Hold this point for 6 to 8 seconds. Then, with the same 2 fingers, touch point 2 on the back. To find point 2, look for the big bone at the base of the neck. From here, move 1 to 1.5 inches to the left. This is point 2. Hold this point for 6 to 8 seconds. More than one associate may work with a recipient provided that all of the associates perform the greeting. If the associate or the recipient leaves the session, or if someone who hasn't done the greeting touches either the recipient or the associate, the greeting must be reestablished. Then the session may proceed from where it was interrupted.
Okay. So we have the next set, really the first set that we're going to start using to address acne. It's called metabolism. This is the first one that we've chosen. And if you were paying attention to what Alissa was saying, she named a couple issues that were the culprits that lead to acne: hormonal imbalance, inflammation. And she said the one that got me was a process of elimination is one of her 5 points in her program. The metabolism set is perfect for all of those. So it helps the body to assimilate and then eliminate what it does or doesn't want. And so this is a great set to use all the time. But if you're really experiencing acne, I'm thinking this would be a great one to use. So let's go ahead and watch the video.
The metabolism set can be used to help the body assimilate what it needs and eliminate what it doesn't need. The metabolism set has 2 steps. Step 1 involves touching points in matching fire along the large muscles on the front of the neck. Points 1 and 1 are located above the collarbone in the soft indentations on both sides of the notch at the top of the breastbone. Points 2 and 2 are halfway up the neck on the front of the large muscles. Points 3 and 3 are at the top of the neck on the front of the large muscles. The second step involves holding a point on the front of the body and touching points next to the spine on the back. Hold point X on the front of the body is on a line directly between where the nipples would be on a youth and is 1 to 2 inches to the left of the breastbone. Another way to find X is 1/3 of the way up the breastbone from greeting point 1 and 1 to 2 inches to the left of the breastbone. The points on the back are located next to the spine, forming a rectangle around the breakover point. The breakover point is where the bottom of the rib cage joins the spine and can be found by imagining a line directly through the body from greeting point 1. To perform step 2, find hold point X on the front of the body and touch points 1 through 4 on the back. Point 1 is approximately 1 to 2 inches up from the breakover point on the left spine muscle. Point 2 is directly across from point 1 on the right spine muscle. Point 3 is 2 to 3 inches below the breakover point on the right spine muscle. Point 4 is used to address blood sugar problems and is added to the other metabolism points when needed. It is located across from point 3 on the left spine muscle.
Okay. The next set is called infection, allergy, and poison. These are actually 3 distinct sets of points that you'll see in the video, but I just wanted to say that when you look at the infection, Alissa mentioned, you know, bacteria and anything. So the infection point is great for that. The allergy point is, you know, foods or cosmetics, anything like that. And the poison set is from foods or chemicals, pollutants, anything that the body can produce. So these are going to be 3 really great sets to use. Let's watch the video.
The infection, allergy, and poison sets are 3 separate sets of points. They all share the same hold point, which is the same as greeting point 1, located in the fleshy area just below the base of the breastbone. As with all sets of points, these may be touched repeatedly. Infections of any kind anywhere in the body may be addressed by holding X and with the other hand touching point 1, which is at the base of the large muscle on the right side of the neck and slightly above and behind metabolism point 1. Allergies or allergic reactions may be addressed by holding X and with the other hand touching point 2, which is on the right side of the neck, directly behind metabolism point 3 on the top of the large muscle. To address poisoning within the body, hold X and with the other hand alternately touch point 1 and point 2.
Okay. Okay. Very easy, very effective. The next set is the neck. The neck set. This is kind of an interesting one to throw in there, but we had to remind ourselves that those points 1, 2, and 3 along those large muscles on the back of the neck are where the nerves run into the head, into the brain, into the head, and into the face. So this might be a really good set for you to throw in there and use. And you can even, you know, depending on situation, do some local work. So it's a very easy set to use, and it really is effective for many things. So let's go ahead and watch that video.
The neck set is used for addressing most headaches, neck pains, and soreness of the upper back. These points are performed in matching fire on the large muscles that run along the back of the neck. Points 1 and 1 are halfway down the neck on the side of the large muscles. Points 2 and 2 are at the top of the neck on the side of the large muscles at the base of the skull. Points 3 and 3 are at the bottom of the neck on the side of the large muscles. As with any set, you may repeat the points as many times as you like. These points may be touched in any order, such as touching points 2, then points 1, and finally points 3.
Very easy. Okay, this last set, last but not least, stress, anxiety. She mentioned, and as we all know, every day of our lives, we experience stress and anxiety, either emotional, mental stress, turns into physical manifestations. One of those definitely can be acne. So using the stress set is going to be very, very effective for you to use with someone. So let's go ahead and watch that video.
The stress set may be used to address any manifestation of physical, emotional, or mental stress, as well as anxiety and shingles. Hold at X, which is in the fleshy area just below the bottom of the breastbone. It is the same as greeting point 1. Then with the other hand, touch points 1 and 2, which are the same points as in the heart set. These points are found by imagining a line running from the notch at the top of the breastbone to a place on the left breast where the nipple would be on a youth. Divide this imaginary line into thirds. Point 1 is at the top of the first third. Point 2 is at the top of the second third. These points may be touched repeatedly, and remember to touch each point for at least 6 to 8 seconds.
Well, there you have it. No wonder kids can learn it. Teenagers working on each other.
You know, I mean, wouldn't that be great to bring it into the high schools and have, you
Like,
know.
hey, I'm going to the prom and I got this big pimple on my nose. Can you help me?
Right. And so just to go over, I want to remind people, the reason we're teaching the neck is all the nerves come off of your body and go to different organs. Well, the neck is what locks in all the nerves that go to our facial areas.
Yeah.
So by working on that neck, you know, doing some, and she talked about stress. And I think part of that stress could be too, if you lock these nerves up in the neck,
yeah,
you're not getting the messages to
right.
so those acne can clean out. So by working on the neck and then locally just touching, you can touch just somewhere on the neck here and then touch, you know, right around where, you know, the pimple might be or the acne might be, and then just touch around it. You don't even have to touch on it, and do some sweeps around it, you know, and just get to those ones that are really irritated or aggravated. And especially if you're doing Alissa's work and she's cleaning stuff out and you're having reactions.
Goodness. Yeah, this is going to really help, isn't it? With that, I was thinking about that. Or she says, in order for things to clear up, it has to explode out. But if you're using BioTouch, you know, the last thing she said was everything that she talked about is internal. This is an internal condition that, you know, explodes out and manifests physically. But what BioTouch does is, using it and touching on the skin, it begins to work within the body and it helps. So I'm thinking this is a perfect marriage.
Oh yeah. And I really liked her part about it's a lot of times genetic.
Oh,
and what did the research show? That adding BioTouch into genetic traumas, which could be acne, we'll call that a trauma that's passed down from generation to generation. BioTouch can help break genetic
cycle.
Genetic cycles. And so, you know, we hope that you'll take advantage of Alissa's program. We hope that you'll do BioTouch. And remember, put BioTouch, go to incandescentskin.com. There was some good information if you're having real trouble. Add BioTouch to it, or at least do BioTouch, and then give her a call and see how the two of you can work together. And don't forget, I thought it was great. Put BioTouch in there or tell her about it, and you get a discount, 25% discount in her, just in her consultation. That's a really cool idea.
That's great. Thank you. Thank you, Alissa.
Yeah. And thank you all for joining us. Good job, Bev, once again.
You too.
Yeah, and next month our health condition will be it's central sensitization syndrome, or basically pain syndrome.
Chronic pain.
Chronic pain syndromes.
Chronic pain syndrome.
It's going to be by our one and only Eileen Webster, you know, who has been a pharmacist for years.
Yay.
Now is also a CBD pharmacist, consultant with that. And she definitely knows about pain because she's had her own experience.
She
So
does.
join us next month. That'll be on the 28th, the fourth Thursday of the month.
Yep.
Yep. So thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Bev.
Thank you,
And
Paul. Thanks, everyone.
we'll see you all
Start
next.
touching.
Keep touching. Bye, everybody.
Bye.